Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here, and happy new year. This is the first video of 2026 and I'm so excited about it. Today we are going to be tier ranking all the books I read in 2025. I love watching these videos. I think they're so fun. I'm really sorry that it's kind of dark in here right now. I've lost all the natural light because I have to film this after work and it is raining, so I don't know how long this light is gonna last. I read 29 books in total in 2025 and we have got 5 tiers in the tier ranking system. So the tiers are from bottom to top. Just know, full stop. Just know for me this category is books that I should have DNF'd, books that really annoyed me, books that I just should have protected my peace a little bit and just put it down. Why did I need to keep reading? Then we've got okay with a few question marks, and this tier to me are books that just didn't really add much to my year. I was kind of confused at the end of them, didn't really connect to the characters, that type of book. Then in the middle we have I could get behind this, which is a tier for books that I liked but didn't love. I thought I would like more, just middle of the road books that were a fun time but they weren't a favourite read for me and I wouldn't necessarily recommend them. Second is well yes, I'd recommend this. Books that I really enjoyed. They weren't quite 5 stars but I still would recommend them to anybody if they ask me for a book recommendation, and ones that I just had a good time with. At the top tier we have Nothing Else Matters, No Notes. These are for books that completely stole my heart in 2025. I'm still thinking about them today and they just mean everything to me. First one here is Beartown by Fredrik Backman, and I am gonna put this in wow yes, I'd recommend this. I loved this book so much. It was 4.5 star for me. I fell in love with some of the characters. I wanted to hug some of the characters. I just wanted to be there for them and I felt their emotions through the page and through his writing and I just loved it so much. It's not in the top tier just because it was slightly slow to start with, but then when you get more into the story and become familiar with the characters and what they're going through, you start to get more attached, and yeah, it was just such a good book. A novel love story. I love Ashley Poston. She is one of my fave authors, so I think I will put this in wow yes, I'd recommend this. It was a 4 star for me only because of one little thing at the end. This book follows a girl. She ends up in the small town of her favourite romance novel. She sees all the characters, meets all the people in the book, meets another character who she hasn't read about and wasn't in the books, and it's kind of her journey of finding out who he is. It is literally the perfect book for a reader and a fangirl. Everybody has that one place, whether it's a TV show, a movie, a book, whatever it is, that they want to be and they wish they could live in. This book, A Novel Love Story, is literally perfect for those people. The only thing that annoyed me was a little thing at the end that I just thought was a bit unnecessary to be in there, but I would still recommend this book because I think it's such a good one. The Dead Romantics. I really liked The Dead Romantics. This was a 4.5 star for me, so I'm undecided. I think I'm just gonna put it in wow yes, I'd recommend this. In ways you could tell this was her debut novel, or I don't know if it actually was her debut novel, but I know it was one of her first books she wrote, so in ways you can tell that, but I still think it was such a fun time. I really liked the main characters and it really had me like on the edge of my seat, like trying to guess how these characters were going to end up together, because if you do not know, The Dead Romantics is about a girl who can basically see ghosts, and the main character appears to her as a ghost, but she had met him previously and he was alive, and you're kind of like, how are these two gonna end up together? It doesn't make any sense, but then it does at the end. Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct is going in wow yes, I'd recommend this also. Killer Instinct is the second book in the Natural series. I really enjoyed this. I was hooked from the start. It's like kind of a murder mystery but it's also YA, and it's just a really good read. Really, you have a fun time with it because it's fast paced the way it's written as well, so I would definitely recommend Killer Instinct. Out on a Limb. Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. I think this is gonna go in Nothing Else Matters, No Notes. I think that's where it deserves to be. I loved Out on a Limb. I loved the entire book. I loved all the characters. I loved the storyline. It was just such a wholesome read. Such a lovely romance. The pregnancy trope is very prevalent in that book, and usually I wouldn't be too sure on that, but I just really enjoyed it with this, and honestly I rated it 4.75, but I think I would bump it up to 5 stars. I actually really enjoyed that, so I'm gonna put that in Nothing Else Matters, no notes. Okay, The Book Thief. I'm gonna put in I could get behind this. I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. There wasn't anything wrong with the book, but I just personally found it very slow and hard to get into. But I think that's just like me as a reader. Maybe I was in a time where I wasn't ready for it, because I'm pretty sure I read this after Onyx Storm and I could have been really hardly slumping. I can see why people enjoyed this book, and I wouldn't say don't read this book at all, but I just wouldn't personally be recommending this like highly. The favorites. I read this in a video and it was reading my bestie's 5-star reads, because this was one of her 5-star reads last year. I think I'm gonna put the favorites in Wow Yes I'd Recommend This. It's about 2 figure skaters. It's following their story, like from when they were young and growing up together and skating together and being in the limelight together. We're also seeing in parts of the chapters and other chapters people being interviewed. They're basically making a documentary about these 2 figure skaters, and it was such a good read. I had so much fun. It's kind of high stakes in a way. It's fast paced, there is drama, a little bit toxic, but like in a good way, if that can even be a thing. It wasn't a 5-star for me, but I still enjoyed my time reading it. Next, Wait for Me by Santa Montefiore. I'm gonna put in I could get behind this. This wasn't my favorite book ever. The main character in this has a dream about being somewhere during the war, and he basically is really confused and doesn't know why he's having this dream, and he thinks he's been reincarnated. It goes back in time in chapters and you see the perspective of the female main character and her husband, and then you kind of understand why the other male main character in the present timeline is connected to those characters. It just wasn't a favorite of mine. Even sitting here now, for some reason I could not speak about this book. I didn't know what to say about it. I really didn't have any thoughts on it. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. It was still a nice story where the romance was and stuff like that, but I just wasn't obsessed with it. Yeah, I think I could get behind this because I understand why people would love it, and I understand why my friend loved it as well. The Rebound by Catherine Walsh. I rated this 5 stars. But I think I'm going to put it in Wow Yes I'd Recommend This. I just really loved the story. I really loved the romance in it. I just love Catherine Walsh's writing so much. It's really nostalgic and like homey and wholesome to me because her books are based in Ireland. I'm biased about that, but yeah, I would definitely recommend The Rebound by Catherine Walsh. Iron Flame. Oh, I'm unsure about this. I kind of want to put it in Wow Yes I'd Recommend This because I love that series in general, but I also kind of want to put it in I could get behind this, so I'm really not sure. I think for now I'm going to put it in Wow Yes I'd Recommend This, and it's kind of in between that I could get behind this because I just found in some parts Iron Flame was just boring. It was just a bit slow. There was a chunk in the middle that just felt like it didn't need to be there. I feel like it was just like maybe 150 pages too long, but there were parts I loved about it as well. But yeah, I think I'll leave that there for now. Funny Story by Emily Henry. Okay, I'm gonna put this in. Funny Story. I think for now I'm gonna put it in I Could Get Behind This. I read Funny Story at the start of the year and I didn't love it, but I also didn't hate it. Like there were parts of it I really liked, and I really liked, I think it's Miles is his name. I really liked Miles and I really liked Daphne. I liked their dynamic. I liked how they were roommates, how they met, how they ended up being roommates. I really liked them, but I just didn't love it. It wasn't a favourite of mine, which I was kind of hoping it would be. I think it's in the middle of the road. I could get behind this book. If it makes you happy, is going in Wow Yes I'd Recommend This. This is such a good story. It gives such wholesome autumnal vibes. Gilmore Girls in a book. If you love Gilmore Girls, you will love this book. I loved it. I loved the storyline. I didn't rate it 5 stars only because I definitely stand on a romance book does not need to be more than 350 pages, and this was. In a way, it was just a little bit too long, but I would definitely recommend if it makes you happy. I really had a good time with that book. The Book Swap. This is definitely going in okay with the question marks. I really didn't vibe with this book at all. To be honest, the female main character just annoyed me. She was a bit insufferable in parts, and she was just a bit like selfish. We learned that her friend had passed away at the start of this book, and then we learn throughout why her friend passed away, that she was sick. In those parts where we learn about that, the female main character was just not it for me. She kind of made the entire thing about herself in a way. It was kind of like, oh, my friend is sick now, she can't be there for me, so I'm gonna run away. And I was kind of like, okay, like what? I just didn't really like that about her. Okay, I've never experienced that in my life, and I'm really lucky that I've never experienced something like that in my life, but I just don't think I would be acting like that if my friend was really sick and dying. I don't think I'd be like, okay, yeah, you're not going to be there for me, so I'm going to leave. No, like no. Merrily Ever After by Catherine Walsh. This is going in well, yes, I'd recommend. This is a collection of short stories from Catherine Walsh, and they are based on characters and side characters from her other books, Holiday Romance and Snowed In, and I have read both of those books, and I would definitely recommend Merrily Ever After. If you have read Holiday Romance and Snowed In, definitely would recommend. It's just fun. It's just fun to get a catch up with all those characters. People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. I am sick of seeing the slander this book gets. I'm sick of seeing it. So this is going in well, yes, I'd recommend this. Okay, listen, I understand why people wouldn't like Milo, the main character in this book. I completely understand that, but I don't think it deserves the slander it gets. And all I'm gonna say is, Prue is a 25-year-old woman. She is not naive. Can we stop? Can we stop with that? Because she's just not. Holiday Romance by Catherine Walsh. This is going straight into Nothing Else Matters, no notes, because I adore this book. Honestly, I rated 4.75 stars, but this is being bumped up to a 5 stars because I just adored it. This was actually a reread for me last year, and I read it like 4 years ago for the first time, and I just loved it so much. I love Molly and Andrew. I will not keep talking about them. Nothing Else Matters, no notes for Holiday Romance. Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. This is gonna have to go in Nothing Else Matters, no notes as well. I gave this a book a 5 stars. I think I slightly preferred it to Out on a Limb, but like they were still both so good. I just loved Sarah and Caleb's story so much, and I felt so invested and so connected to them, especially when the thing happens towards the end. I was literally on the edge of my seat. I couldn't put this book down. It made me cry. Nothing Else Matters, no notes. The Naturals? The Naturals is gonna go in well, yes, I'd recommend this. Because, again, this is the first book to Killer Instinct. I really had a good time with it. I wasn't expecting to love it the way I did. And yeah, I can't wait to read the rest of the series. Okay, Magnolia Parks. If you have watched my videos before, you know where this is going straight into. Just know. I'm not gonna elaborate on that, but I should have DNF'd Magnolia Parks because it just really annoyed me the entire way through, and I don't know why I didn't DNF it. I really don't know why. So that's going in. Just know. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I think I'm gonna put Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies in I Could Get Behind This. I really wanted to like this book, I really did. You know, it's fantasy, it's whimsical, it's a bit more wholesome than like a high stakes fantasy, and I really wanted to enjoy it, but I just didn't end up loving it, and I was really sad about it. But I can understand why people would really like Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I did like some parts of it, but I didn't really love it. It was just kind of middle of the road for me. I really had no feelings towards it. That's the way I would describe it. I literally, like, it was just kind of okay, yeah, it's a good book, but it's not the best one I've ever read. A Court of Silver Flames. Honestly, A Court of Silver Flames is going in Nothing Else Matters, no notes. I think A Court of Silver Flames deserves to be there. That is my favourite book in the ACOTAR series so far. I love Nesta, I love Cassian, I loved their story, I loved the character development for Nesta, I loved the found family in that book. It's either you do not like this book or you really like this book, and I'm definitely in the I really like A Court of Silver Flames. Direbound. Direbound's going in well, yes, I'd recommend this. I really loved Direbound. This is like Fourth Wing but with dire wolves, and I just had such a fun time with this. I cannot wait for the next one that is coming out this year. I'm so excited. I loved the characters. I was gripped literally from the first chapter. I was gripped with this book. So yeah, that is definitely going in well. Yes, I'd recommend this. I did rate this 4.5 stars, and the only reason I didn't rate it a 5-star was because 2 nicknames were being used in this, and I didn't particularly love both of them, but one of them, more so than the other, gave me the ick a little bit, just a little. So I was like, nah, this can't be a 5-star because I can't with you saying this nickname. And if you know, you know. Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing is going in Nothing Else Matters, no notes. I devoured Fourth Wing. It was so good, so fast paced, high stakes, plot twists, made me cry. I really enjoyed Fourth Wing. This was a 5-star read for me. I just had so much fun with it. Pippo and Clara. I think Pippo and Clara is gonna go in Nothing Else Matters, no notes as well, you know that? This book follows 2 siblings who get separated. It's during World War II, I think, and you basically just see the 2 perspectives, 2 mindsets of either side of a war and how it impacts their lives. And the whole way through, they're so close to being together again, and then the ending hits, and oh my god, it made me cry. I sobbed at the end of this. It was so good. So Nothing Else Matters, no notes for Pippo and Clara. Mayluna is also going in Nothing Else Matters, no notes. I honestly think that was my book of 2025. That was my favorite book, top book of 2025. Mayluna, I think so. It just has to be, I think. I still to this day cannot stop thinking about it. I really want to reread it already. I just loved it. I loved the story. I loved the characters. I loved the dynamic of the characters. It kept you on your toes a little bit because you kind of want to see like what's going to happen with these characters. How did they lose each other, I suppose? And then the ending hits, and I also cried. At this book, and oh my god, it was just so good. Definitely Nothing Else Matters, no notes for Mayluna. Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston, another Ashley Poston book. I'm gonna put this in where yes, I'd recommend this. I gave it a 5 stars at the time. Looking back, I don't know if it would fully be a 5-star, but I still really liked it. I loved the love story, I loved the characters, I loved the concept of this one. The musical elements of it as well I really liked. So yeah, and the way the 2 characters were connected at the end of this, I adored. Good Spirits by BK Barson. This is gonna go in okay with some question marks. I just didn't vibe with this book, and I'm really sad about it because I really wanted to. I think what helped this book was the festive vibe to it. It is about the ghost of Christmas past basically coming and to this girl. We're following them and trying to figure out why he has come to her, because she seems like a good person and he doesn't know why he has been given this task. There was just I just thought it was a bit silly in parts. I really did just think it was a bit silly. The spicy scenes were just out of place. At the end, when I had finished it, I was kind of just like, well, okay. The ending kind of wrapped up really quickly, but also didn't really, like, it made sense, but also didn't really make sense and didn't really go into depth too much. So yeah, that's definitely in the okay category. Onyx Storm. Onyx Storm's going in where yes, I'd recommend this. I really liked Onyx Storm. I know a lot of people didn't love Onyx Storm after Iron Flame and stuff, but I thought it was good. This was very like high stakes in this one, and the characters go on a journey and you think you're gonna lose a lot of the characters, and then that last sentence had me flipping that page and looking for the rest of it, because I was like, there's no way that is ending right here. Last book we have on this list is The X-Files. I think I'll put The X-Files in well yes, I'd recommend this as well. I really enjoyed The X-Files and I definitely would recommend this. It is a second chance romance, and it's basically following 2 best friends, well 3 best friends. One of them is getting married and the other 2 used to be together. They're trying to help their friend because a lot of things are going wrong with his wedding, and he is like, you guys are like the only people that can help me with this. I trust you, whatever. So they are acting like they're cool, they're friends since they split up. There is a lot of tension between the 2 and I really liked that. I really did love their dynamic. That little moment with the rings, if you know, you know, the paper rings, guys, that was so cute. That was so wholesome. The only reason I didn't put it in the top tier and didn't rate it like 5 stars was because it was just a little bit too long, and once they had kind of fixed things started going wrong again, and I just thought it was a little bit unnecessary to add that to the story when these characters had already been through so much and done so much for their friend. Like, why would you put them in a situation that's just gonna ruin everything? I would still recommend it. I would still recommend the X-Files. Okay guys, that is my board. That is my tier ranking. I know I have only read 29 books in 2025, but I think that is still a good amount of books, and I am happy with the way I have ranked these, and I like that most of them are toward the top. That's what we wanted to see for my reflection of my reading in 2025. Okay, I'm so sorry that the lighting got so dark there and I've had to put the light on. If you have gotten this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me tier rank my books for 2025 because I had so much fun. I'm so excited to be back filming videos in 2026, and I hope you stick around and see what I get up to in 2026. All things bookish and lifestyle. If you enjoy that, then it would mean a lot if you would stick around and subscribe. But yeah, for now, that is me. I will see you very, very soon in my next video. Bye guys.